Before you actually start your performance testing, setting up your test environment is very important, as if you do not set up your test environment correctly, it may give you misleading result, it may lead to system crash, and it may waste your time as well. Because if you don't set your environment correctly, you cannot get the correct results which is actually there in the production. If you don't get the correct results, there is no point of doing performance testing. So hello everyone, welcome all to this video. In this video, we will learn how to set up your test environment before actually starting performance testing. I hope in this video, we will learn about what is a test environment. Okay, we will cover what are the key components of a test environment. We will cover what are the environment types, and we will also cover what are the configurations, or we will just discuss few quick tips before you do performance testing in your company or anywhere if you are learning. It's a very important video. Stick to me with this video, and I'll make sure that you learn everything. Let's start. So the first topic, it is what is a test environment. Let's not go to the classical definition. I'll just explain it you in a simple terms. Okay. So it just says that a dedicated stable setup that replicates the production system where you will run your load and performance test. So what does it actually means? So probably, for example, let's imagine you work for a company called, let's take Amazon. Okay, let's imagine you work for Amazon, and now Amazon has created a new product page, and you are testing it, and you have to make it to the production. Okay, so this is Amazon production, which everyone is using. When I say production, it means it's the real app which everyone is using. So if you do performance testing on the production directly, can you imagine what are the consequences of that? For example, you are testing for 100 million users. What if this production is not capable enough to handle the load of 100 million users? The production will crash. And would you like that? No, no one like that. No one would like that Amazon or production will crash. So what do we do instead? We have a same replica of production, which is called as staging environment or UAT environment. In different company, different terms are used. Okay, so we have a staging environment, and this staging environment is the exact replica of Amazon. So now you can test this 100 million users over here. Don't test 100 million users in the production website, as it may crash. Now even if this website crash, we are safe that this is still working. All right. So now whatever testing we will do in the entire series, we will not do on production, we will do on some test environment. Okay, so this is what test environment is. What are the key principles? It mirrors the production as closely as possible, but still be cost effective. Cost effective is a very important term. Okay, let's move ahead to our second topic, that what are the key components of a test environment. This is a very important part and very interesting part as well. So in our previous example, we were discussing that we have a test environment over here, Amazon, and we have, for example, a production environment as well. This is our production environment. So I wanted to convey, when we say what are the components, what the first component, that is hardware, server specs, CPU, RAM, input output bandwidth. What does it actually mean? It means that, for example, you are doing the performance testing in your system. Okay, now since when you're doing the performance testing in your system, you have to make sure that your system is capable enough to handle the load, because this is your system, and inside the system you have your Amazon app. So when you are doing your performance testing, you have to make sure the infrastructure of this system is quite good enough so that it can support 100 million users, because we are not testing the system's capacity, we are testing Amazon's capacity. So system capacity, we have to make sure it is enough to handle the load. So what are the CPU? CPU can be 2 core, 4 core, depending on your choice. What is the RAM? 4GB, 8GB, 12GB, depending on how much load it can handle. So these all things you need to make sure before starting any performance testing. Second component, which is software, you have to make sure the operating system is good enough. Probably it doesn't hang so that performance doesn't degrade due to the system in which you are doing the performance testing. The database doesn't have any lock, the JVM is up and running, the web servers are up and running. You have to make sure these things are there. Number 3, network. Very important. So for example, if your network quality in your system is poor, okay, do you think your Amazon will behave how it should behave? No, never. Because if your network quality is poor, then your performance is degrading here only. It is not even going to Amazon. So you have to make sure you have very high speed internet and a good network connectivity. Testing tools, either JMeter, K6, Gatling. This is all we have discussed in our previous video. Monitoring tools, Grafana. You can use Grafana, InfluxDB, New Relic, Datadog, or if you are using JMeter, then you don't have to worry. JMeter has inbuilt monitoring tools as well, and we can use other plugins as well. Next is data setup. Realistic data set, because for example in Amazon production there are, let's say, 1 million products, and when you are testing you have only, let's say, 500 products. Do you think it makes sense? No, it doesn't make sense. Why? Because since you are having 1 million products in Amazon production but only 500 products in Amazon, it doesn't make sense. You have to have 1 million products only, so that you can exactly mirror whatever is there in the production website. You can use a version control. This is optional, same as production, Git, Jenkins or pipeline, but this is recommended. Okay, fine. I hope you have understood till here. Now let's move ahead and let's talk about environment types. So we were discussing staging environment and production environment. We have a staging environment stage, we have production. Okay, this is our production, this is our stage. We also have one more environment, which is the local environment. So basically local environment is your system where you do all the coding and stuff, and where you run it locally in your system. Staging environment is the test environment where you will do your performance testing, and production is the production main website where you will not touch directly. So these two are our environments. Clouds, you can also have cloud based test environments as well. So it's little bit costly, so mostly people don't go for that. You can just have a own staging environment in your organization. That is a better idea. Okay, at last we are going to discuss about configuration checklist. So what are the configuration that you need to take care before you actually do your performance testing? The first one is you have to know that time zone and region setting must match prod. So for example, you are testing Amazon US, okay, and you are testing it in India. So there can be certain tokens which has certain validity, and it may expire after a certain time over here, but it may be active over here, or it may expire over here, or probably it is active over here but it may expire here. So that can create a chaos, and your probable performance testing won't work. You have to make sure the time zones are same. Load balancers are enabled. Why load balancers are important? Because for example, if you don't enable your load balancer, all the load will go on a single server. It will not be distributed on multiple servers like how it is there in the production. So you have to make sure it is enabled. Logging turned on for debugging. Although lots of logging can slow down your system, but you need to have some of the server logs. I will recommend you to use log.info or log.warn. This will not slow down your system, and as well it will, at the same time, it will serve you a purpose of checking the logs. External API versus live, it is a very important point you need to take care about. So for example, you have a payment gateway integrated in your website. We were talking about Amazon. Okay, so in Amazon it has a Razorpay integrated, for example, for payment and stuff. And if you are doing the performance testing on Amazon and doing the payments, so the Razorpay will also get, if you are using for 100 million times, so Razorpay will also get affected 100 million times, because 100 million order you are placing. So Razorpay might mark you as spam or ban, or probably charge you more. So that is not the case we want to do. We need to have a mock Razorpay. We are not going to do the live, we are not going to do everything in the live. We will have a mock Razorpay, and instead of this we will connect with the mock and we will do our processing. Preload databases with enough row, that we have discussed, that if we have 1 million product, we are not going to do with 500 products. if we have 1 million product, we have to have 1 million product, and all the databases should be ready for the testing purpose. So this was all for this video. I hope you have understood the configurations and the setting up your test environment. In the next video, we were actually going to start the performance testing using JMeter. So yeah, best of luck and see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.